too lazy to get my tripod out. Hi, hello. I'm getting ready to leave for vacation, but I need a TBR to take because we're going to the beach, and like that is literally the best place to read. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to use for the TBR. It's also a pretty long travel time for me. So I'm probably going to grab some audiobooks. I just don't know what yet. I am thinking people meet on vacation because I'm going on vacation. So, like, this seems like the appropriate book to take. Also, I love romance at the beach. Also, though, I kind of want to do This Is How You Lose the Time War. This is all over Twitter right now. Before, I wasn't really interested in because no one ever tells you anything about this book, which is fine. I don't mind going into books that way, but it was just like nothing seemed to intrigue me based on this cover, right? I have heard really good things. I feel like I need to see, is it worth it? So I think we're going to take this as well. I am considering also Fourth Wing, which is all over everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, book Twitter. And I'm like, I kind of want to read that. Stay tuned for more of that. Is this worth the hype? I don't know. While I do think you should go into this knowing absolutely like nothing about the overall premise of the story, I don't think this is going to be for everyone. I do think you need to know at least the genre and the style of writing before you go into this. I can see a lot of people just picking this up because everyone's like, oh my god, it's such a great story. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, just read it. And I can see a lot of people getting into this and being so confused and just really not enjoying it. I would say that this is a puzzle book. Yes, it is beautifully written. It is brilliant. But this is a puzzle overall. I reached a point where I'm like, I know what's coming, and I felt so smart and satisfied to know what was coming. And then we got to the end and I had just figured out literally the most front and center thing. And there was so many layers after that were revealed that I was like, okay, well, now I have to reread it. I think that is a little bit of the purpose of this book, is that you read it for the first time and you take it for what it is at face value, but there's so many other things happening that you don't realize till the end. So then you're forced to have to think on it and go back and revisit so many of the passages. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who want to put that time and effort into truly devouring this book. It also throws you right in. You get no world building because the world is there and you're just in the midst of it. And I could see a lot of people not really enjoying that. And the world, we are learning more and more about the world up until the end, basically. And you don't even get to fully, I feel understand the world we're in until the end. I'm stuck between a 4.5 and a 5. My only reason hesitating for a 5 is that I did feel like I missed a lot in the initial reading of this, and maybe when I reread it I'll give it a 5, but I feel like right now it's a 4.5 because I just feel like I missed out on so much of the story that I feel like I could have gotten maybe in the first round had I known a little bit of what to look for. I do think I could see a lot of people loving this. Like I said, it's brilliantly written. The story is very intriguing, and you really are on the edge of your seat because you're not really sure what's going to happen. You're suspicious of everything happening. Then you're kind of like, no, but I want this to be true. But then you're suspicious again. So you really do want to stick around to the end to figure out what has happened. But there are passages where it's like, what the fuck am I reading right now? And that's where we're at. We are T-minus 1 hour till the start of the 24-hour reading sprints. So I thought I would bring you along as I kind of set up for this last hour of going live. But I did also want to update you. Obviously, I'm home. No, I read People on Vacation on the way home, on the plane, and Emily Henry just never disappoints, honestly. I get why she is such a hyped author, because, I feel like it's deserving. None of them have been duds for me. And normally I don't like friends to lovers type thing, but this one, perfection. Especially because it's one of those ones where it's just not the right time, not the right place ever, which tends to be a trope that I enjoy. Love Rosie. Also, what was that? One Day, those movies. I love those movies. On the plane, and I'm trying not to cry, to drink my tiny little complimentary ginger ale, just love just the moments that you can tell that they just love each other and fall in love. And I think Emily Henry just does such a good job of being so relatable and goofy, but also having really strong emotions and being able to put those down in a way that I know that we've all felt at some point, kind of deal. It's not overly poetic, and it's just very raw feeling. It's those silly little moments that I just adore, and that I feel like we've all kind of been in. It doesn't matter that they've gone on all these crazy vacations. It's in some way, shape, or form you have been in a situation that feels very similar to that. So I feel like it just feels so real. Just love it. 5 out of 5 stars. Love it. Amazing. Fantastic. We are killing it. I get it. I get the hype. Anyway, let's go get ready. I've had to do a little bit of scrambling this morning because I don't have everything for the rewards. And mostly that's because I couldn't find a lot of the stuff. For those who don't know, I stream in basically my basement. This is a storage room. It works for all. And I built a fake wall for my backdrop because everything in here is concrete block, which is not very nice to look at, and it kind of looks like a dungeon. First thing we gotta do is turn on the lights. Check. I have this old cart that used to house old mugs and stuff that we weren't really using. So I've emptied it so that I can put some of the stuff that I'm gonna need for the rewards on here so that it's kind of in an accessible place. Here's great. I have a whole basket of weird party stuff that I keep for stream. I also have this toxic waste, which I might end up substituting for the pickle shots because we don't have any of the super gross kind. Flamingo costume. I do need to double check that this works. I think we have a lot of people graduating and birthdays, so I think I'm gonna keep this out in case someone wants to let me know that it's their birthday. So now I'm going to make sure that all the audio is working, my mic is working, and there's a few other things I have to set up. Also, I got my big water jug. Don't worry, I stay hydrated. Oh, who's this? Okay. I think we're good.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world today. How's it going? How are we all doing? Sorry, there is just, hello. First of all, hello. Look, this thing is being weird. We might have to hide this. It's being weird. Hello, everyone. Oh my God. First of all, we've already got donations. What the fuck?
It's everywhere. Oh my goodness. The 24 hours it's concluded. The 24 hours is done. We've done it. We've done it again, folk. Goodbye. Goodbye for now to you, my friend. Tomorrow it's something, and say, hey, that's okay, 'cause I'll see you very soon, I know. Very soon, I know.
I've just finished the 24-hour, and now it's time to clean, because that's step number 1. So I can wind down, and also so I don't have to worry about it later. But, like, first step, all of your stickers need to go, unfortunately. But they're, like, kind of caked onto my face. I think I got them all. The rest, I think, is just confetti. Nope, that's a sticker in my hair. It's just like glittery dandruff happening to clean up the rest, because there's just glitter everywhere. It's all the places. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. I did it. I finished Babel. I did it. 3-hour nap yesterday. And then after the nap, I finally finished Babel. It took, I feel, way longer than it needed to for those last, like, 50 pages. It was rough, okay? It was rough. And I know you all have been waiting for how I truly feel about this book. I've had 10 hours of sleep now. I'm prepared. I'm ready to talk about it. Not really. I don't know. Magic comes from words, which is lovely, fantastic. As someone with an English degree, obviously, I really like that aspect of it. And we follow a specific character, but we also have, like, snippets from other characters' point of views that, like, honestly, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But beside the point, they're kind of just thrown in there and kind of random, like, as an afterthought. He was born in China, and then his mother dies, and he is taken in by a very wealthy Englishman who may or may not be his father. And basically, he is taught a few different languages, and then he gets to go to the school of Babel, learn different languages, and learn how to create this magic that, like, sustains this world. I feel like this book has been sold a lot as, like, dark academia, secret society stuff, which, like, to a degree, yes. But I feel like this is, like, an antithesis of dark academia, because the whole thing was, like, anyone who doesn't know, dark academia is very white, very much white. It's basically pointing that out to such a hard degree. This basically is calling out so much in academia, especially the fact that it is very white and steals from a lot of different cultures, in the way that it just, like, really fucks people over basically in the long run, and that it doesn't really care about the people that are actually there. It just cares about, like, how those people can further that, like, certain establishment, not really caring what they are personally. It's definitely a call out to that. So it's taking all of those things from, like, an academia point of view, basically going, all of this is effed up. Yes, agreed. Hard agree. Also, I love seeing the different languages and translations and words in this to see how things have been borrowed from different languages and how things have kind of transformed over time. I love linguistics when I was in university. That I loved learning about, like, just how different words have come from different meanings and origins and things like that, and how you can have, like, the same word in 2 different languages, but they could mean totally different things. So I found a lot of that very interesting, and if you like that, you might like this book. The thing is, this is a very slow book, and it's very detail heavy. I would say it's not very character heavy, as even though there's a good many characters, and I do think you are supposed to grow attached to all these characters,
I just personally just felt like they got kind of lost in everything else that this book is trying to describe. This is definitely also a book about racism and racism in the world, and especially in academia, but just in the world in general, and what it's like to be a minority in an all-white space. And even in the areas that they are accepted, they're still not to a degree. It's an important point, but I do think it's hit very over the head. And I don't know, maybe if you're white and you've never looked at anti-racist things ever or any type of history at all, maybe some of these things would be a surprise to you. Like, we were dumbing down such a important issue in a way, and like it is a very important conversation to have, but I just felt like that it was too on the nose at times with describing. I don't feel like I'm making enough sense about what I mean, because a lot of it just seemed very face value of like what type of racism we know about in the academia world and also in countries and in politics and whatnot. And I don't know, I guess maybe if we were as detail heavy as it is, I think I would have wanted to see even more. I don't really want to see them, but if that's the discussion that we're having, the microaggressions and just small things, more of the small things that maybe aren't as noticeable or things that aren't as, I don't know, known. I don't know what I'm trying to say, and I feel like I'm not doing it intelligently enough to make the point across. So what I'm trying to say, it's an important book, and it has very important discussions. I don't know if it did the discussions well. I also feel like I went into this wanting a little bit more action overall within the plot, because there are so many points in this plot that I was just like, what exactly are we working for? Like, what is the plot? Because we've introduced so many things, but like nothing is happening with them. So what is the plot? Secret Society feels like it's so small in the grand scheme of all this, even though I do feel like a lot of that was supposed to be very much a big part of the story. And the fact that like nothing truly happens, it's all just the same discussion, I feel like, happening over and over and over again up until like page 400. There's only 530 some pages in this book. Up until 400, there's like not really much. It's just the same conversation. The magic system is actually, in my opinion, quite simple to understand, but it just is explained over and over and over throughout the first like 250 pages of the book. And it's like, we get it. I think I'm going to give it a 3 stars, because I do think it's a brilliant book. I love the overall ideal of it. I love the thought of language as power, and I love the way that it was described, and how like without certain things, like there's a whole collapse, and how there was some really great sections that do talk about like the stealing of other cultures to make English great in a way. And like some of those passages were really powerful. I just like, I don't really understand who the book is for. So unfortunately, this was supposed to be a 5-star read for me, and I think I'm going to give it a 3. I would continue, I think, possibly. I don't know. I know there's other creators who have talked greatly about this book and some of the issues that they had with it in much better terms than I did. I am not very good at putting words out of my mouth. This is interesting because now we're at the end of, I've read 3 really hyped books. I loved one. It was a 5-star read, but I kind of knew going into it that it would be, and I feel like it's very hyped for a reason. And I've given most of her stuff, more time by Emily Henry, most of her stuff 5 stars. And then I also read How to Lose the Time War, which I also thought was brilliantly written, just maybe I'm too dumb for it. And then we have Babel, who I think was written thinking that I was too dumb for it. Are these overhyped? Honestly, yes. And the one I gave 5 stars, it's probably to some degree overhyped. I love Emily Henry's writing. I think if you've never even read romance before, and maybe you just want to dip your toes into romance, I do think Emily Henry is great. As for How to Lose the Time War, definitely not for everyone. For sure not for everyone. Babel, for certain not for everyone. So, like, these are being hyped, but I feel like these need to be hyped within the proper places. I don't even know who would like this, to be honest. It felt like a history lesson that I already had sat through. Okay, that's it. That's all I got for this vlog. This is it. Thank you so much. I'm hopeful that I did want to read one other hyped book for this vlog, but it's just not going to happen because it's a bigger book. It's Fourth Wing, so maybe I'll pick that up soon. Everyone is picking it up right now, and I'm kind of have FOMO. I don't know if anyone actually wants to see my thoughts and feelings. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing for next week's vlog. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.